Hey, I'm Andrew, and this is the Culips English Podcast. Happy New Year! We're kicking off this year by launching a brand new pronunciation series called Speakeasy. And this is the first episode. In this series, Suzanne and I will teach you a ton of tips and tricks to make your pronunciation sound clear, natural, and easily understandable. Now, the Speakeasy study guides are going to look a little different from our regular study guides. Instead of vocabulary explanations and examples, Speakeasy study guides come with exercises that let you practice the pronunciation tips and tricks that you'll learn. And of course, the transcript is still included as it always is. So if you want to get the study guide for this episode, or any of our other episodes, visit our website, culips.com, culips.com. Okay, we're excited about this series. I think you'll like it a lot. Let's get right to it. Hey everybody, my name is Andrew.
And I'm Suzanne.
And you're listening to Culips. Hey, Suzanne.
Hey, Andrew. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Suzanne, I'm super excited because we are debuting a new type of series here on Culips, a pronunciation series that we're calling Speak Easy.
Yeah, that's right, Andrew.
Our other series, like Catchword and Chatterbox, Real Talk, Simplified Speech, all of these are designed to help you sound like a native speaker when you talk, so that you use the same vocabulary, the same expressions as a native speaker. But I think a lot of you guys are interested in actually sounding like a native speaker with your pronunciation. And so this is why we decided to do this series, is to help you sound natural with your pronunciation. And Sue is actually a pronunciation teacher and pronunciation coach in her other work, apart from Culips. So we have an expert on the Culips team already. So yeah, we're very excited to present you guys with this new series.
Yeah, and this will offer you some tips and tricks that you can quickly apply to your everyday pronunciation of English. And we don't need to sound like a native speaker to be understood, but some of these little tips and tricks will help you feel more confident, might help you understand native speaker speech better, and will help you feel and sound more fluent.
That is right. So today we have a cool little tip and trick to teach you guys. And we could call this Y insertion or W insertion. When we link together, we connect some words together and we insert a Y sound or a W sound to help make a smooth connection between words.
Yeah. When you hear sometimes native English speakers speak, you might not be able to distinguish the words or separate the words that they're saying because they sound like they're flowing together or connecting really quickly, almost like they're one word. And that's because they utilize this little trick, and it's a Y or W insertion.
Oh, that's so cool. So, Suzanne, maybe you could explain about this pronunciation tip in a little more detail. What is it exactly? Y or W insertion?
Sure. So in English, whenever a word doesn't end in a consonant, like a B or a D, like bad, that ends with a consonant, right?
D is a consonant.
Right. That means it usually will end in a vowel sound. And most of the time in English, our words end in the vowel E or oo. And that is just how the ends of English words work. We tend to just use E and oo. So if you have a word that ends in E or oo, such as be or you, and then the next word begins with another vowel like able or R, you add a Y or W sound between those two words. And if the word ends with an E sound, you'll add an extra Y sound or y sound before the next word. And if the word ends with an oo sound, you'll add an extra W sound or w sound before the next word.
That explains it really well. Those are some great rules to follow. But it's a little bit complicated, Suzanne. So let's break it down a little bit further. Let's look first at inserting a Y. Okay? Inserting a Y at the end of a word that ends with E to connect it to another word that starts with a vowel.
Yeah. So, like, for example, you have the phrase be able. Like, right? So, I won't be able to make it to the party.
Okay.
Be able.
I won't be able to make it to the party. Now, of course, there's not very many native speakers that pronounce it like I just did. I won't be able to make it to the party. No, that's not how natural conversation works. So when we speed it up to a natural speed, it sounds more like I won't be able to make it to the party. I won't be able.
Yes. And so it can be difficult sometimes for non-native speakers to blend those two words, right? Sometimes they'll make it a glottal attack like be able, like there's a kind of a little shock in the down in the vocal cords area or the throat.
Like they're stopping the air from flowing out of their mouth when they're speaking to try and make a separation between be able.
Exactly.
But that's not how we do it, is it?
No. And also sometimes some speakers will add like an H sound. So they might say behable. And that can make it sound like a different phrase altogether.
French speakers, we're looking at you right now.
Yeah, a lot of times because there is no H sound in the French language. Well, there is an H letter, but they don't pronounce it. So there is no H sound in the French language. So they kind of slip it in English in a lot of different places to make up for it. And in this case, there is a tendency to do that between two vowels. So since the B, if you think about it, the B ends in an E sound, and the able begins with a vowel sound, try putting, Andrew, a Y or a E sound between the two words in order to blend them.
Okay, so I start with B, and then I switch to able. So be able, and then I can connect it by saying be able.
Yeah.
Be able. Is that right?
That's right. And you guys can try along with us. Be able. Be able.
Be able. And you can really feel your mouth, right? If you pay attention to the shape of your mouth, it's really going to pull back. Your lips are pulling back towards your ears.
Like a smile.
Like a smile when you're making that Y sound, like be able.
Yeah. And your tongue is usually, in this kind of sound, the E sound, the tip of your tongue is behind your lower front teeth, and the front and sort of middle part of your tongue is really arched forward, right? Be able, right?
That's right.
So you're kind of extending that E sound is what you're doing. You're kind of going a little more intense just so that it is long enough to connect to the next word.
Suzanne, what are a couple of other words that use this pronunciation technique, or some other phrases that we can hear this pronunciation technique used in?
There are some common ones, right? Like she is. She is.
Oh, yeah, she is. So it's not she is, it's
Right.
she is. She is.
She is. Yeah. Is she coming to the party? Yeah, she is.
Yeah, she
Right?
is. She is. Right.
Or he is, right? He is.
Right. He is. He is.
Yeah. Or even they are. They are. They are.
Are they coming to the party? Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Yeah. And it's subtle. We're kind of emphasizing it a little bit more, doing it a little bit more extreme than in rapid speech. So when you do it in rapid speech, it's maybe not as strong as we're doing it right now as an example.
That's a good point. We are overemphasizing it. But guys, at the end of this episode, we're going to present you with a dialogue, conversation example where you'll hear many words and phrases using the pronunciation tips and techniques that we're teaching you today. And we will do that at a completely normal conversational speed. You'll be able to hear all of these examples of connected speech spoken at a totally normal conversational pace in the dialogue at the end. So while we're explaining it here, we're kind of overemphasizing so you can hear it, and then you'll be able to practice listening at regular speed at the end.
Yeah. And just to cap it off with the Y insertion, you also can put a Y in the middle of a word. For example, create, create, or creative, or regular, regular.
Oh, I hear that. So create, create, create. You can hear the Y in the middle. And Sue, is that because you have the same instance of an E sound being beside a vowel in a multi-syllable word?
Yeah, so if you think about it, cree is an E sound, right? That's a pure vowel E. And then the next syllable is actually made up of a diphthong,
Right.
which is when you have two vowel sounds that come together to make one. So technically you have like three vowel sounds going on there. Create, create. And in order to blend them all together, you sort of extend that E sound so that it doesn't sound too choppy. Create, create.
Yeah, this is, I guess, an example of English speakers just being a little lazy, right?
Yeah.
We're just trying to find a shortcut. Like, linking all these vowels together is just too much effort. So how can we make it flow? How can we
Yeah.
make it be smooth? And adding the Y is how we do that. So again, we'll take a word like create and then smush it together, make it smooth by adding the Y and changing it to create.
Exactly. Now we also have a similar effect with the W insertion, or the w sound, right?
When we're representing it with a letter, we can use the W letter, but it's really the
Right.
W sound.
Right, or the oo, right? We are extending the oo sound.
Okay, so could you break this down for us, Sue? In what environment do we want to insert this oo or w sound?
So it's very similar to the Y insertion rule. If you have the end of a word ending in oo, and then the next word beginning with a vowel sound, you want to add a little bit more oo or a W sound in order to link them and make it more connected. For example, the phrase, you asked her. You asked her, right? So some people could want to maybe do the glottal attack again and say, you asked her, you asked her, you asked her, right? And kind of attack on the ah.
It's too much effort, though, to do that. It's
Yeah.
easier just to add that w in there and say, you asked her, you asked her, you asked her.
You asked her. Did I ask her? No, you asked her.
You asked her, yeah.
Good.
Okay, so we have you asked her. What's another example?
Yeah, so we also have you are, you are.
You are, you are.
Yep.
Yeah, you are.
How is it? How is it?
How is it? How is it? How is it? How is it?
Yeah, like, I just moved to Montreal. Oh, yeah? How is it? How is it there?
Right, how is it there? And you could
Yeah.
maybe, if you're having a dinner party and
Yeah.
your guests sit down to try the food that you just cooked for them, you could ask them, how is it? How is it?
Yeah. And hopefully they say, it's delicious.
It's to die for.
You can also put it in the middle of words, similar to the Y insertion.
Mm-hmm.
You can say coward, coward.
Coward. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's extra cow-erd, right? Cow-erd, but coward. So you kind of bring that W over to the R sound
I
word.
see.
And then nowhere, nowhere.
Nowhere. Nowhere. Nowhere.
Yeah. Or however, however.
Yeah. How we don't say however, it's however.
Yeah. However, blah, blah, blah.
So Suzanne, I think it's time that we play that conversation example for all of our listeners so that they can hear many instances of these two techniques in a conversation that occurs at a totally normal conversational pace.
Yeah.
So let's take a listen to that right now. Hey, didn't you have that interview today?
I don't think I'll be able to go. I heard they don't pay overtime.
Well, nowhere pays overtime these days.
True. But I hear there's going to be some new openings over at Google.
Wow, a job there would be so awesome. Are you sure they're hiring?
Yeah, I heard they are.
It's a regular desk job?
Yeah, it's a regular desk job. However, the hours are flexible. All right. So, in that dialogue example, did you hear any Y or W insertions in words or phrases? Let's see if we can pick them out. Andrew?
Yeah, I heard an example when the lady said, I don't think I'll be able to go. Be able to go. Be able. Be able.
Yeah, exactly. Be able. There was a Y insertion there. And actually in the word interview, too. View.
Oh, yeah.
In the word view, right before, we don't say vu, right? We add a little bit of a Y before. It's view.
That's right. Hey, didn't you have that interview today?
Yeah, exactly.
The lady in the conversation was complaining about that company not paying overtime.
Yes.
They don't pay overtime. Pay overtime. So there we can
Yep.
hear that yeah sound again, right? Don't pay overtime.
Exactly. And then the gentleman said, well, nowhere pays overtime these days. Nowhere. So there was an extra W.
Extra W sound. Very good.
Yeah.
And then, well, the lady responded by saying, well, there's going to be some new openings over at Google. New openings. So we see the word new and openings connected together by the insertion of that W sound. New openings.
Yeah. And then we also have a simple one, which we say quite a lot, right? So awesome. Wow, a job there would be so awesome.
So awesome.
So awesome.
Oh my God, it would be so awesome.
Yeah.
So again, they're linked. So and awesome are linked together by the W insertion.
Yeah. And then we also have regular. We don't say regular, it's regular desk job.
Regular desk job. It's a regular desk job. Exactly.
Yeah. And then I think the last one we say, yeah, it's a regular desk job. However, the hours are flexible.
However.
So there we added a W.
Right. Another example of the W insertion. However. To connect that all together and make it smooth and polished sounding. Well, Sue, I think that is all the time that we have for today.
Yeah. Well, today we learned 2 simple tricks that help our speech flow. We learned the Y and the W insertion. So whenever you're in a bind, you can remember to put a Y sound when the word ends with an E and the next word starts with a vowel. And you can add a W sound when one word ends in oo and the next word starts with a vowel.
That is right. Our website is culips.com and we are on Facebook at facebook.com/Culips podcast. So please check it out and get in touch with us. If you want to send us a Facebook message, that's totally cool. Or you can email us at contact@culips.com. And because this is the first edition of our new Speakeasy series, we would love to hear some feedback from you about what you thought of it. So get in touch with us. Sue, thanks for teaching us how to make our speech flow more naturally today.
Sure, my pleasure.
And we'll talk to you soon, okay? Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Do you like listening to Culips? If so, please show your support by leaving Culips a 5-star rating and a review on iTunes or Stitcher. This helps new listeners find the show. So don't delay. Rate and review today.